In honor of Hellboy Day today, this episode of Nerdist News Edition is brought to you by the new Hellboy movie hitting theaters April 12th. Is there a secret Pokemon cinematic universe in the works? Have you ever wanted to be the very best like no one ever was? Was catching them your real test and training them your cause? Well then you're in luck because Detective Pikachu might just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to seeing Pokemon on the big screen. And no, you didn't doze off while hearing Jigglypuff do karaoke at the local coffee shop. You're not having a strange fever dream. This intel comes directly from the set of Detective Pikachu. Back in April 2018, I clambered aboard the back of the nearest Pidgeotto and flew across the pond to the UK, where I then journeyed to Shepperton Studios to visit the set of Detective Pikachu. I learned some of the secrets of Rhyme City, including how Danny DeVito actually did voice Detective Pikachu for one beautiful, brief moment in time. For more on that, check out my set visit reports on Nerdist.com. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I do want to mention that Nerdist is owned by Legendary, the studio behind Detective Pikachu. That being said, we don't have any extra inside knowledge that you don't have, and all of the rest is purely speculatory. While on the set, producer Ali Mendez hinted that Detective Pikachu could be the beginning of something larger. She said that the world of Pokemon is, quote, such a rich universe. There are so many ways you can go inside of it. We're trying to get the first movie right, and then once we've done that, we'll see where we can go from there. But absolutely, there are a lot of opportunities. We're gonna have a lot of Pokemon in this movie, but we want to play with all of them at some point, unquote. Now, obviously, no one thought Detective Pikachu was going to be this one-off movie. I mean, back in January, The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Legendary is already developing a sequel to Detective Pikachu with 22 Jump Street writer Oren Uziel, and that is months before the first one ever hits theaters. Now, considering that Pokemon is the highest-grossing media franchise of all time, not expanding this cinematic universe beyond the first movie is a bit like bringing a Magikarp to a gunfight. It's not very effective. The real question, though, is how will they expand the world of Pokemon from here? Well, also back in January, we got this covered reported a rumor that there were 2 additional Pokemon movies in the works. Now, one of these is likely Detective Pikachu, but the other was alleged to be based on the original video games Pokemon Red and Blue. Those games followed the adventures of you, a 10-year-old child forced to leave your home, travel all over the world, capture and train rare Pokemon, avoid glitching out your game by messing around with missing notes, and generally attempting to battle your way into the annals of history. While this is still just a rumor and should be taken with a whale-lord-sized grain of salt, the closest person to a gym leader that I know, IGN's Joshua Yale, reported on this news earlier this week and wisely noted that 2013's Pokemon Origins was a 4-part animated retelling of Pokemon Red and Blue. Clocking in at roughly 90 minutes, Pokemon Origins makes a compelling case for how one might go about distilling the gotta-catch-em-all experience into a feature film. Now, there are 60 Pokemon featured in Detective Pikachu. That's a small fraction of the 800 plus that have been created over the past 20 years. And now with Pokemon Sword and Shield heading to Nintendo Switch, that roster's gonna get even larger. So playing with all of them at some point, like Mendez mentioned, might take an awfully long time. But like the former president of Nintendo, my body is Reggie, so bring it on. But what do you think? What should the next Pokemon movie be about? What Pokemon are you dying to see on the big screen? Let's discuss. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and share this video and tag your Poke Pals in the comments below. And until the next time that you find yourself in way over your head, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.
I can't do it when people are watching. Get me the hell out of here!
Thanks again to Hellboy for sponsoring today's show. Based on the graphic novel by Mike Mignola, Hellboy's back in a brand new adventure based on the fan-favorite Wild Hunt storyline. It incorporates everything from hunting giants to Arthurian legend and so much more. Hellboy follows the adventures of a half-demon who was first summoned to Earth by a group of Nazi occultists during World War II. But he was rescued by the Allies and went on to battle all manner of supernatural threats alongside the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, or BPRD. Now Hellboy's back with his trademark trench coat, sarcastic sense of humor, and circular stumps where his horns used to be. Faced with his deadliest threat yet, the mysterious and murderous Queen of Blood, Hellboy is going to need a little bit more than his trusty right hand of doom if he wants to save the world as we know it. He's gonna need a little help from his friends. That is, if he has any. Be sure to see Hellboy in theaters on April 12th and grab your tickets today.